بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين لا سيما بقية الله في الأرضين أجل الله تعالى فرجه الشريف وجعلنا من أعوانه وأنصاره اللهم أخرجني من ظلمات الوهم وأكرمني بنور الفهم اللهم افتح علينا أبواب رحمتك وانشر علينا خزائن علومك برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. Alhamdulillah, we have tawfiq to continue our study of Aqaidul Imamiyya by late Ayatollah Muzaffar Rahmatullah alayh. Number 13, Aqidatuna fi Nabuwwah. After studying the part on knowing Allah and His attributes and actions and Qada and Qadar and Bada and Taklif, now we start with prophethood. First, about general prophethood, and then we focus on a specific prophethood. An-Nabuwwatul Amma is the general prophethood, to believe in the fact that Allah has chosen some people as His prophets, and among them some are messengers to whom Allah has given His message. Allah has sent books for guidance of humanity. This general. The idea of infallibility, the idea of miracles. But then we focus on prophethood of Prophet of Islam. That's an-Nubuwwatul Khassa. Inshallah later it comes. So now we are talking about general Nubuwwah. نعتقد أن النبوة وظيفة إلهية وسفارة ربانية. We believe that prophethood is a divine responsibility, and it is a godly ambassadorship. They are messengers and ambassadors of God. يجعلها الله تعالى لمن ينتجبه ويختاره من عباده الصالحين وأوليائه الكاملين في إنسانيتهم. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives this position of nubuwwah to those that He selects. ينتجبه ويختاره, both means to select, to choose. Muntajab, Mukhtar, Mustafa, all mean chosen. From whom Allah chooses these prophets? From among ibadih salihin, His righteous servants. It's not that Allah takes just someone randomly and gives him this position. This position needs lots of conditions on the side of the one who is going to be appointed. In the series on the Quran, when we talked about revelation, we talked about conditions and requirements of receiving revelation, about in particular the capacity, the piety, knowledge, etc. So Allah chooses some of His righteous servants and some of His friends who have become complete in humanity. Al-Kamilina fi insaniyatihim. They have flourished in their humanity. If you remember in Hawz Akhlaq series, in the first year when we talked about the aim of Islamic ethics, we said we can say aim is nearness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We can also say the aim is to flourish humanity, to flourish true sense of humanity. Yes, physically everyone is a human being, but to develop those virtues which are potential in human beings. And over there I said that although they call it insan kamil, which if you want to translate means perfect man, But man can never be perfect. Only Allah can be perfect. Here, maybe it's better to say complete instead of perfect, in the sense that we are complete, we become complete in every aspect of human beings which is positive and can be potential in other people, or more or less. Maybe some aspects are potential, some not. So you become a full-fledged human being. Some of ulama, they very much talked about this idea of Adam shodan, means to become a human being. What does it mean? We are all human beings. Means that we are truly human being, and therefore on the day of judgment Allah would also resurrect us as human beings, because many human beings maybe on the day of judgment, when they are resurrected, they will take the form and shape of human being, and some may take the form of animals, shape of animals. يَوْمَ يُنْفَخُ فِي الصُّورِ فَتَأْتُونَ أَفْوَاجًا. If you read books of tafsir about this ayah, you would see that some people would be resurrected as different types of animals, depending on which quality was more outstanding in them. And I quoted for you that the late Imam Khomeini said from his teacher, that people say ملا شدن چه آسون، means چه آسان، آدم شدن چه مشکل. To become a mullah means to become a scholar is easy, but to become a human being is difficult. Means to develop virtues of human beings is not easy, it's difficult. To study is easy. This was a common saying. But Imam Khomeini said his teacher Ayatollah Shahabadi Rahmatullah Alayh used to say with some change. He used to say, Mullah shodan che mushkil. Other people used to say, Mullah shodan che asan. It's very easy to become alim, mullah. He used to say, no, it's difficult to become alim. It needs several decades of studying and, teaching, studying, researching, writing, always, engage in academic work. So, mullah shodan che mushkil. Adam shodan muhal ast. And it's impossible to become complete in humanity. So he was a little bit exaggerating, but the intention was to highlight that it's not something easy. So therefore even some great scholars, when they pray to Allah to make us human being and resurrect us as human being. So the prophets were people that had virtuous life and had become fully developed human beings. Al-Kamilin fi insaniyatihim. فَيُرْسَلُهُمْ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chooses these people, and then He would send them إِلَى سَائِرِ النَّاسِ, to the rest of people. It's very important that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, out of His love for the humanity, chooses these prophets and gives them the task of going and helping humanity. So part of what they receive is because of their own goodness, part of it is to help others. Like, for example, if we give something to the father of a family or the mother, who are responsible for looking after the needs of the family, but what we give is not only for them, we give for the whole family. So it means that the children, the spouse, all were meant for giving this grace to them. So Allah loved the prophets, but also loved the rest of humanity, and therefore He gave this task to His beloved servants to help the rest. لغاية إرشادهم, the end, the purpose is to guide people, rest of people, إلى ما فيهم منافعهم ومصالحهم في الدنيا والآخرة. To guide them to what? To guide them to what is to their interest, what is beneficial, or what is harmful for them. In dunya, what is good and beneficial or harmful, and in akhirah, and the hereafter, what is good and beneficial or harmful. So this is one point. Another point is that in addition to the guidance, which is more a matter of teaching and educating, also they worked on their purification. ولغرض تنزيههم وتزكيتهم من درن مساوئ الأخلاق ومفاسد العادات. Also these messengers were sent for the purpose of purifying people from daran. Daran means dirt, of bad traits of character and corrupt habits. Number 3, وَتَعْلِيمِهِمْ الْحِكْمَةَ وَالْمَعْرِفَةَ. As we have in the Quran, يُعَلِّمُهُمُ الْكِتَابَ وَالْحِكْمَةَ. To teach wisdom is very important, and this has lots of discussion. What is wisdom and what is the significance of wisdom? In the series on understanding wisdom, we have talked about this. وَبَيَانِ طُرُقِ السَّعَادَةِ وَالْخَيْرِ. Also to explain to people the path towards felicity and goodness, happiness. What should they do to achieve that? What is the Islamic plan for this? لِتَبْلُغَ الْإِنسَانِيَّةُ كَمَالَهَا اللَّائِقَ بِهَا. So that humanity would reach that perfection which is suitable, which is something that they should reach. فَتَرْتَفِعَ إِلَى دَرَجَاتِهَا الرَّفِيعَةِ فِي الدَّارَيْنِ دَارِ الدُّنْيَا وَدَارَ. So that humanity can rise to the ranks, high ranks of insaniya, high ranks of being human being in this world and the hereafter, in both worlds. Okay, this is general idea about prophethood. So Allah chooses from among His righteous servants for the sake of guiding and helping and purifying and educating rest of humanity. وَنَعْتَقِدُ أَنَّ قَاعِدَةَ اللُّطْفِ عَلَى مَا سَيَأْتِي مَنَهَا توجب أن يبعث الخالق اللطيف بعباده رسلا لهداية البشر. Why we believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sends and should send prophets and guides? A very famous argument is the argument from divine grace, قاعدة اللطف, the rule of al-lutf. Many scholars have talked about this in the discussion about Nubuwwah, in the discussion about Imamah, and Sheikh Tusi rahmatullah alayh was a person who very much talked about this and even brought this to the idea of ijma in usul al-fiqh. And Khaja Nasir in Tajrid al-I'tiqad talks about this. And even when he talks about Imam Mahdi Ajjalallahu Ta'ala Farajahu Sharif, he uses this rule. He says, وجوده لطف وتصرفه لطف آخر وعدمه منا. Having Imam al-Zaman is a lutf, is a grace, and if he is able to work and to exercise his Imam and leadership, that is a second lutf. And if he is not with us, it's because of us. Adamuhu minna. Inshallah, we'll talk about it later. So what I want to say is that Qa'idah lutf is a very important qa'idah, a very important rule, which can be used in different sections of kalam and even in usul al-fiqh. They refer to qa'idatul lutf as they discuss about, for example, ijma'. So وَنَعْتَقِدُ أَنَّ قَاعِدَةَ اللُّطْفِ عَلَى مَا سَيَأْتِي مَعْنَاهَا. We believe that qa'idah lutf, as it will be explained later. The next article is about النبوة لطف, so we will talk about it later. This rule توجب أن يبعث الخالق اللطيف بعباده رسله لهداية البشر وأداء الرسالة الإصلاحية وليكونوا سفراء الله وخلفاءه. This rule would make it necessary that Allah would raise messengers. Who is Allah? The one who has lutf, al-latifu bi'ibad. He is very kind and affectionate, very gracious towards his servants. He should appoint his messengers for the guidance of humanity. وَأَدَاءِ الرِّسَالَةِ الْإِصْلَاحِيَّةِ, and for delivering their task of reform. So this is a mission, reforming mission. وَلِيَكُونُوا سُفَرَاءَ اللَّهِ وَخُلَفَاءَهُ, and they should be ambassadors and vicegerents of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we need to have such figures to do this task. And also we Shia believe that Nubuwwah is a divine position, in the sense that only Allah can choose who would be prophet or messenger. Like Imama. Imama is also a divine position, Allah should choose. You know, we say in the ayah about Prophet Ibrahim, Allah Nabiyyina wa alihi wa salam, وَإِذْ ابْتَلَى إِبْرَاهِيمَ رَبُّهُ بِكَلِمَاتٍ فَأَتَمَّهُنَّ قَالَ إِنِّي جَاعِلُكَ لِلنَّاسِ إِمَامًا. I am appointing you as an imam for people. And when Ibrahim alayhi salam asked, وَمِن ذُرِّيَّتِي, Allah said, قَالَ لَا يَنَالُ أَحْدِي الظَّالِمِينَ لَا يَنَالُ أَحْدِ الظَّالِمِينَ. My covenant would not reach the unjust people. So first, جَاعِلُكَ لِلنَّاسِ, Allah is appointing, and also says that Ahdi, Imama, is a divine covenant, a divine position. The same is with Nubuwwah. Allahu a'lamu haythu yaj'alu risalata. Allah knows where to put his risala. So therefore we cannot guess or think and say, okay, this person should become prophet. Of course, we are not living in the time that Allah used to send prophets, but even if we were there, we could not guess and we could not decide on behalf of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. كما نعتقد أنه تعالى لم يجعل للناس حق تعيين النبي أو ترشيحه أو انتخابه. We also believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has not given people the right of selecting or electing the prophet or nominating, tarshih, nominating, أو انتخابه, or selecting. ليس لهم الخيارة في ذلك. They don't have choice بل أمر كل ذلك بيده تعالى. Everything in this regard is in his hand, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. لأنه أعلم حيث يجعل رسالته. He knows where to put his risala. Maybe someone that we think is very good, inside he is not good. We don't have that knowledge. Maybe there are good people who are unknown to us. وليس لهم أن يتحكموا في من يرسله هاديا ومبشرا والنذيرا ولا أن يتحكموا فيما جاء به من أحكام وسنن وشريعة. People cannot impose themselves and cannot have any, effective role about who should be sent by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, whom should Allah choose as guide, and the one who gives bishara, good news, the one who warns, nadhir. And also they cannot do this with the rulings and tradition and sharia that prophets bring. We cannot say, we don't want this rule, we want that rule to be replacing this rule. So this is our idea about nubuwwah. But now let's go to the reason behind nubuwwah more. Number 14. An-nubuwwatu lutfun. Nubuwwah is lutf, is a grace. But we have a special definition, a technical definition for lutf. Inshallah, I will mention later. إن الإنسان مخلوق غريب الأطوار. Human beings are created, but they are very strange, very different. It's the most complicated being in this world. Lots of layers of heart and mind are there. It's not very easy to understand a human being completely or even near completion. Even you cannot be 100% sure about every aspect of your soul, of your heart. Sometimes you think you are free from some problems, then all of a sudden that problem emerges. Sometimes you think you know people very well, but then you realize that you didn't know them well. Either they were better than you thought or worse than you thought. Sometimes the same, but many times we don't know enough. So, إن الإنسان مخلوق غريب الأطوار. It's very strange, the conditions and the moods of human beings. معقد التركيب. It's very complicated combination. في تكوينه وفي طبيعته وفي نفسيته وفي عقله. In its creation, in its nature, in its soul, and in its intellect. It's very complicated. بل في شخصية كل فرد من أفراده. Not only we are talking about all human beings, they are very complicated and sophisticated, even about one single person, about personality of every person, every individual human being is very معقد التركيب. The combination is very complicated, very sophisticated. وقد اجتمعت فيه نوازع الفساد من جهة وبواعث الخير والصلاح من جهة أخرى. You must have heard this hadith, very famous hadith, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, إن الله سبحانه وتعالى ركب في البهائم. He says tarkib, So hadith says Allah ركب في البهائم. Baha'im, animals, are only shahwa. Angels are aql. Human beings are a combination of shahwa and aql. They have lower desires and they have intellect. If they act according to aql, they become better than angels, because angels don't have shahwa. If we act like them while still we have shahwa, we are better. If we act like animals while we have aql, we are worse than them. So, قد اجتمعت فيه نوازع الفساد من جهة وبواعث الخير والصلاح من جهة أخرى. In human beings we have those motives that push towards fasad, and we have those motives of good and righteousness that push us towards that direction. فمن جهة قد جبل على العواطف or جبل على العواطف والغرائز من حب النفس والهوى والأثرة وإطاعة الشهوات وفطر على حب التغلب والاستطالة والاستيلاء على ما سواه والتكالب على الحياة الدنيا وزخارفها ومتاعها. From one aspect, human beings are created with certain emotions and instincts. For example, we have self-love, hubbun nafs. We discussed this in akhlaq and philosophy about hubbun nafs. You remember we had quite big discussion about egoism. Is egoism right or not? Self-love. So there is hubbun nafs, there is hawa, loss or desire. Athara is hubbun nafs, opposite to ithar. Ithar means you raise others over yourself, you give preference to others. Athara is to give preference to yourself. Wa ita'at ash-shahawat, following lower desires and appetites, means negative appetite. Wa futira ala hubb at-taghallub wal istitalah wal istila. Also, human beings are created with this love. Of course, it can be their tabi'ah and can be changed. They have love for taghallub, to be dominant, to be above, to have control, istila, over masawa, anything else. Non-human beings and other human beings, they want to have control over them. وَالتَّكَالُبِ عَلَى الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا وَزَخَارِفَهَا وَمَتَاعَهَا. Also, human beings very much go to the worldly life and its zakharif wa mata. Zakharif is the plural for zukhruf. When something is coated with gold, but it's not really gold, just on the surface, they call it zukhruf. Means it looks gold, but it's not gold. It's empty or something not valuable. So human beings, unfortunately, go and even fight with each other. Takalum comes from kalb, like dogs, barking and sometimes fighting over what? Over dunya and the pseudo attractions or false attractions of dunya and the mata and the products and the goods of dunya, or the pleasure of dunya, tamattu. كما قال تعالى إن الإنسان لفي خسر. Truly man is in loss. Or إن الإنسان ليطغى أن رآه استغنى. Man would become inordinate if feels that has no need. وإن النفس لأمارة بالسوء. Also, nafs very much commands to do bad things. إلى غير ذلك من الآيات المصرحة والمشيرة إلى ما جبلت عليه النفس الإنسانية من العواطف والشهوات. There are many ayat that can be added to this list, which would explicitly or implicitly مصرحة والمشيرة, either explicitly or hints to what human soul is built upon, which is awatif wa shahawat, emotions and lower desires. So this side is there, but this is not the only side. There's another side to human being. ومن الجهة الثانية خلق الله تعالى فيه عقلا هاديا. Allah has created in human beings intellect which guides يرشده إلى الصلاح ومواطن الخير. This intellect helps human beings to reach. So it's a kind of pushing them and leading them to as-salah, righteousness, ومواطن الخير, places of goodness. وزميرا واسعا يردعه عن المنكرات والظلم ويعنبه على فعل ما هو قبيح ومذموم. And Allah gives him an inner self which helps and stops us from going to the bad things, going to injustice, and blame us if we do something which is ugly and blamed. This internal fight between shahwa and aql, between al-atifat wal-aql, between our emotions which are not enlightened, our lower desires on the one side and our intellect on the other side, this fight, this debate, this conflict is going on. فَمَنْ يَتَغَلَّبُ عَقْلُهُ عَلَى عَاطِفَتِهِ, those whose aql manages to be dominant over their emotions, كَانَ مِنَ الْأَعْلَيَانِ مَقَامًا or وَالرَّاشِدِينَ فِي إِنسَانِيَتِهِ, they would be from those who are in a'la, highest positions, and rashidin, those who have reached the level of rushd in their humanity, means they have developed in their humanity. Al-kamilin fi rawhaniyatihim, they have become perfect or complete in their spirituality. وَمَنْ تَقْهَرُهُ عَاطِفَتُهُ, but those whose aql are not dominant, aql is not dominant, shahawat and awatif are dominant, كَانَ مِنَ الْأَخْسَرِينَ, they are from those who are in greater loss. manzilatan, which is between the position, وَالْمُتَرَدِّينَ, taraddi comes from radab in the sense of halak. Mutaraddin means those who are very, radi also we say low, mean they are very low in their insaniya, they have dropped in their humanity. وَالْمُنْحَدِرِينَ إِلَى رُتْبَةِ الْبَهَائِمِ, they are dropping to the level of animals. وَأَشَدُّ هَذَيْنِ الْمُتَخَاصِمَيْنِ مِرَاسًا عَلَى النَّفْسِ هِيَ الْعَاطِفَةُ وَجُنُودُهَا. In this conflict, the one enemy which is very difficult for nafs to deal with is atifa, is our emotions and its armies, junudha. فَلِذَلِكَ تَجِدُ أَكْثَرَ النَّاسِ, you find most of people مُنْغَمِسِينَ فِي الضَّلَالَةِ, they have immersed. He says, of course, about his time, that most of people are immersed in misguidance, مُبْتَعِدِينَ عَنِ الْهِدَايَةِ, they are far from hidayah, and بِإِطَاعَةِ الشَّهَوَاتِ, by following and obeying shahawat, the lower desires, but talbiyat nida al awatif, they say labbaik, they follow the call of awatif. And this is why Quran says وَمَا أَكْثَرُ النَّاسِ وَلَوْ حَرَصْتَ بِمُؤْمِنِينَ. Most of people, even if you are very concerned and you are very haris means greedy, but here it doesn't mean greedy, it means if you very much want it and you are very much passionate about their iman, most of them are not mu'min. So this is a conflict inside. ألا أن الإنسان لقصوره وعدم اطلاعه على جميع الحقائق وأسرار الأشياء المحيطة به والمنبثقة من نفسه لا يستطيع أن يعرف بنفسه كل ما يضره وينفعه. Also insan, human beings, because they don't have enough information, they don't know everything, they don't know the secrets which surround us or embrace us from outside, and those secrets which are inside, because we have afaq, external world, anfus, inside. سنريهم آياتنا في الآفاق وفي أنفسهم. We don't know secrets of the things which are outside us, and we don't know all the secrets of the things which are inside us. So human beings لا يستطيعوا أن يعرف بنفسه كل ما يضره وينفعه. They cannot understand by themselves everything that harms them or benefits them. ولا كل ما يسعده ويشقي, everything that makes them سعيد or شقي. سعيد means the one who has felicity, happiness. Shaqi is the one who has no happiness, no feelingness, no fortune. لا فيما يتعلق بخاصة نفسه ولا فيما يتعلق بالنوع الإنساني ومجتمعه ومحيطه. We don't know enough of what we need for our happiness for the things which are only about me or something that belongs to all human species or society and environment. Even about one person, I am not sure what I need to do, let alone I give prescription to all society or all humanity. بل لا يزال جاهلا بنفسه ويزيد جهلا أو إدراكا لجهله بنفسه. Human beings are still always ignorant about their own soul, their own nafs, their own spirit. And this is increasing because more questions come and we have less knowledge. أو إدراكا لجهله بنفسه, or we understand less our ignorance. Someone who doesn't know but knows that he doesn't know, we call him that he has jahl basit. Jahl basit means that you don't know but you know that you don't know. Jahl murakkab is the one that doesn't know and doesn't know that doesn't know. This is more difficult. كلما تقدم العلم عنده بالأشياء الطبيعية والكائنات المادية, the more knowledge develops about natural things and about material beings, the more knowledge develops, the more our questions develop, the more we understand our ignorance. وعلى هذا فالإنسان في أشد الحاجة ليبلغ درجات السعادة إلى من ينسب له الطريق اللاحق. So, human beings have great need, or greatest need, they are in greatest need for reaching degrees and ranks of happiness and felicity. They are in greatest need for what? Haja ila what? Someone that shows them the path. We need guide. And Nahj al-Wadih, we need a clear path, clear way ila rashad, towards guidance, واتباع الهدى, and following guidance. لتقوى بذلك جنود العقل. The more we go forward in this path, the army, the soldiers of aql become stronger. حتى يتمكن من التغلب على خصمه اللدود اللجوج, so that aql can overcome its enemy, which is very insistent and stubborn, which is our nafs and our awatif and shahawat of nafs. عندما يهيئ الإنسان نفسه للدخول المعركة الفاصلة بين العقل والعاطفة. When we enter into the battle between, which battle? The battle that separates aql from atifa. Atifa means shahawat and emotions which are not based on aql. How much time we have?
About 8 minutes.
Okay, so maybe we stop here because we cannot finish and allow some questions.
Okay. The first question is, at what point in the life of a person do they get chosen to be a prophet or nabi? Were they born as such, or did they get chosen after their birth? Did the Nabi Ibrahim alayhi salam become a nabi and then later on get chosen to be an imam after he passed his test?
Yeah. The prophets became prophets in different age. Our prophet was appointed as prophet in the age of 40. But some prophets became prophets earlier. آتيناه الحكم الصبية. Sometimes maybe as a child they become prophet. And it doesn't mean that whoever became a prophet earlier is better. Actually, sometimes if the mission is very great and the task is very much challenging and requires a lot, the age for preparation becomes more. So our prophet, to receive the final message of Allah, had to wait, had to prepare for 40 years. So you cannot say, even about the imams, you cannot say if, for example, one imam became, for example, Imam Jawad alayhi salam became imam in the age of around 9, he is better than other imams who became imam later in their age. No, this is not what we can decide based on the age. But we know that prophets in different time of or different point in their life, they were chosen by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then they also may have different stations, as you said. Prophet Ibrahim was Nabi, and then Rasul, and then Imam, and also Khalil. Allah had different ways of honoring Ibrahim alayhi salam.
Perfect. The second question is, considering this lecture's conclusion that our ultimate goal is to work towards living with our reasoning rather than our desires, and how do account for those suffering from mental health issues and cannot make a sound decision, hence live a life of desires or nafs?
Sorry, why they don't make sound decisions?
Because of the, I assume because of the mental health issues that they
Uh-huh.
have.
Yeah. If someone really and completely doesn't have intellectual capacity to discern between good and bad, they are not responsible. They are exempted from trials and obligations and tests. Because, as we said before, one of the conditions of taklif is aql. But if someone is not very sharp, not very intelligent, but can still understand, or has some mental issues, some difficulties in mental health, but still can understand, then they are responsible, but expectations are adjusted according to the physical condition, mental condition, external conditions, to which family they are born, to which environment they are born, what facilities were available, what challenges were available. It's about external world and also inside. Someone was ill, someone was healthy, someone was had good memory, sometimes didn't have good memory, sometimes had high intelligence, someone didn't have. According to what they have been given. The question is how much you have done with what you have been given. If we give a person bicycle and another person motorcycle, another person a car, another person helicopter, another person a jet, we don't expect from all of them to go to the same distance and say, okay, now the one who had jet went faster, so he's the winner because he reached the destination. No. For each of them, the task is different. For each of them, their success is measured based on their own specific conditions. We don't compare them with each other. We compare each person with the potentials that he or she has for his own growth. For example, I could reach this height. How much I have come high? 50%, 60%, 80%, 20% of where I could reach. Maybe another person could reach this high. You cannot just by looking who is higher say this is better. No, maybe this person has come this, but he could go up to the sky. This person is, lower or higher, but you have to measure what was their limit, what was their capacity. So this is why only Allah can judge. He knows what He has given to every person, and He only asks proportionate to that. La yukallifullahu nafsan illa ma ataha. So you will be asked, what have you done with what you were given? Were you given a bicycle or a motorcycle or a car or a helicopter or a jet? Based on that we will measure your success.
Thank you, Sheikh, for a very informative 10th night.
You are welcome. Ya Allah
We're
bless you.
looking forward to the nights ahead, inshallah.
Inshallah, biznillah.
We're running out of time today, so I'll pass it over to Brother Hadi Al-Khafati to recite an excerpt from the Munajat al-Manzil